What's going on, guys? This is Riggs and welcome back to another PUBG Mobile video. Now, you didn't think I was only going to make a worst map in the game video. Of course, we're going to follow it up with the best map in the game. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, one thing we all have to understand, making a best video versus a worst video it can be very polarizing, right? So as a whole, I would say 97% of the people agreed on the worst map in the game, which of course we said was Karakin, and I outlined not only a bunch of reasons why I think it's the worst map, but ways that Tencent can improve the map to make it better and more playable for everybody. In case you missed that video, I will link a card up at the top. Check it out once you're done watching this video. I'd really appreciate it. Now, one thing we have to understand when we're talking about the best map is people like maps for different reasons. For example, a lot of people will play Miramar for the sniping, those long-range engagements that is often not available or as readily available as other maps. People like Miramar a lot for ranking as well. It gives a ton of rank points, for various reasons. We're talking about Livik. People like short matches, the quick fights. We all know if you want to meet somebody, you can go ahead and meet them at Midstein. So we know why people like Livik. Talking about Karakin, for those of you out there that like Karakin, not only for the Panzerfausting, some people call it a mini Miramar. There are some exclusive weapons on that map that you can't find anywhere else, so some people play Karakin for that. Sonok, incredible loot, the aesthetics. I mean, it's a tropical paradise meets battle royale. Very, very unique play style in Sonok. And of course, Erangel, the familiarity. The wait time is damn near zero when we're talking about matching. People enjoy Erangel for ranking, so on and so forth. So this isn't gonna be one of those videos where you have to watch all the way to the very end to get my answer. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it for you guys, and I'm going to outline all the reasons why. I'm actually going to answer the question, because too often we don't, right, as YouTubers. If I had to pick one map though, okay? If I had to pick one map that encompasses everything, we're talking ranking, sniping, hot drops, the aesthetics, the wait times, the play styles, whether you're dropping safe, whether you're dropping hot, the familiarity, it has got to be Erangel. It has got to be Erangel. Now, before you dislike the video, let me go ahead and explain all these reasons why. It is the best of all worlds in terms of maps. Certain maps, and no one plays a wider variety of maps than me. Trust me when I tell you that. I play them all, you guys. Same thing on the live streams. We play all the maps. But certain maps are good for certain reasons. Whereas Erangel is good for kind of all reasons. You can more or less do everything on Erangel. When we're talking about ranking, a lot of you guys that watch the channel are big on ranking. Ranking is a huge part of this game. That's why there are leaderboards in this game, right? Because of ranking, no map will you get and ranking is all about time, okay? Time. No map will you get a faster queue than Erangel. Period, point blank, end of story, nail in the coffin when it comes to ranking versus time versus match times. There's no queue. It's pretty much instant. Quickly, we touched on play styles. You can play the map however you want. Other maps, again, good for their own reasons. Other maps force you to play a certain way. For example, playing Sonok, it's more of a close quarter combat, mid-range type map. Karakin and Livik is in your face, quick fights, action right now. There's not much playing safe going on Livik. However, the play styles, it's almost like the map you can customize. You can customize Erangel to yourself in how you play. If you want to play safe, guess what? You can do that. If you want a hot drop and you want to just be balls out, gun-ho, John Wick, pushing everyone and everything in sight, clearing an area, jumping in the car, driving to the next one, you can play the map however you want. And again, that's why I think it's the best map in the game, because it tailors to your play style. And of course, you're going to like your play style. If not, you wouldn't play it. You wouldn't be playing that way, right? And of course, the familiarity. It's, for most people, it's the first map that everybody plays. Does it have to be the first map you play when you first jump in? I think it is. I think you have to play Erangel before you can even start downloading the other maps. You have to go through like the tutorial, and it forces you to play Erangel. So that alone not only has the nostalgia of like us OGs that play the game, but it often just becomes the most familiar with everyone. And who doesn't like? Who's uncomfortable with familiarity? You know what I mean? Sniping. Sniping is something that you can do on Erangel. When you're talking about Karakin, there's really not much sniping around on Karakin, right? When we're talking about Sonok, you're not really sniping. It's not a sniper's paradise. You know what I'm saying? Karakin, you're lucky if you can get something bigger than a 3x. When we're talking about Livik, also, I mean, you can snipe, but it's not a sniper's map, right? However, Erangel, there's so many different areas of the map where you can snipe. There's so many, whether you're on Mount Everest, whether you're going to be shooting someone from across the field, from Pachinki, over to the hillside, whether you're sniping somebody, that's out in prison. There's so many different scenarios where sniping is a thing on Erangel. So boom, check mark there. Hot drops. That's where hot drops started, right? We're talking about Pachinki, okay? There's multiple hot drops on Erangel as well. So depending where the flight path is, we're talking Millie, we're talking Pachinki, we're talking crates, whether you're going to Novo, whether you're going to George crates. I mean, even Rozok at this point isn't, it's still a meme as far as loot, but it is more or less become a hot drop. School apartments, school itself, there's tons on every corner of the map. There's a hot drop for everybody, depending where the flight path is. So we can go ahead and put a check mark there. Now, certain people like playing certain maps for aesthetics, and even Erangel, of course, has a check mark there. The map is absolutely beautiful. When you're talking about the bridge, we're talking about the bridges, we're talking about the crates, just the building designs themselves, the feel of military, the bunkers, whether you're going to the underground bunkers like in Shelter. It's very, very unique, and each area of Erangel almost has like its own little lure, right? And it feels good to play the map. It feels good. The way vehicles drive, it's just, there's almost something for everybody, right? And it looks absolutely beautiful. All right, now quickly, since we're talking about the best map, we have to mention what we don't like about the map. There's truly only two things. And no, we're not talking about bugs and glitches, because all maps have bugs and glitches. It's part of the game. It's part of all games, right? But two things to the map that I don't like. Number one, as a whole, is the loot. As far as sometimes it can be very, very difficult to get what you want. Even more specifically is scopes. Scopes are almost scarce. They used to be a lot worse, but scopes can sometimes be so scarce on Erangel, and it's really, really unfortunate. I wish they would increase the loot a little bit. We're not talking like a Livik or Sonok or Karakin, type loot spawns, but just to bump it up a little bit, I think would be awesome. But yeah, so loot, I think people complain about loot on Sonok. The second one, and again, Sonok has it, Livik has it, people even on Miramar do this. And of course, we're talking about snaking. So on Erangel, you do run into snakes, but again, some people are all for it, some people are against it. It's part of the game. It's part of the game, whether we like it or not. Some people just abuse it a little bit more than others. But yeah, loot and snaking are probably the only two main things I don't like about Erangel. But everything else, as we mentioned, of course, outweighs those two little complaints. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Drop a like. It lets me know that you enjoyed it and you want to see more videos like this. But yeah, that's going to do it. Can't wait to read all your guys' comments down in the comment section. But until the very next one, this has been Riggs from Riggs Gaming.